I'm Rocket Brown, and it's time to get down.
And what's up? It's Raging Crow, that guy with the fro.
And we're still talking about SA1 and SA2. Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2.
So after we talked our asses up about gameplay, we're going to talk about the overall story.
Okay.
You're going to say Adventure 1 had the better story.
No, SA2 had the better story. Mainly because it wasn't as convoluted and there weren't as many unnecessary stuff in it. I think SA1 had good individual stories, but like them merging as one, I think they did a sloppy job.
Okay.
And there was a lot more stuff that just didn't make sense in SA1.
Here's what I'm going to say. I will say Adventure 2 had the better story, but for different reasons. Adventure 1, since it was a tribute to kind of the older style games, had a little bit more of a fun kind of edge to it. You know, the bosses were a little bit more fun to look at. The storyline overall went into a little bit more happy-go-lucky premise.
Yeah.
Except for at the end, you know, when people are getting drowned to death in the city, devoured by a water monster, but that's entirely separate.
Well, here's my thing about SA1 is that, you know, when Tikal is like showing them these epiphanies and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the way she does it and the people she picks, it just doesn't make sense. For example, Big and Gamma are they have nothing to do with the final story. Nothing whatsoever.
Yeah. No, that's true.
So I thought that was kind of pointless, especially Big.
I love Tikal's little epiphanies. I wish they would actually talk more on that in future games.
That would actually be interesting.
Yeah, because I always wanted to know. It's like, okay, I find it really hard to believe that Knuckles, like, you remember in the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 manual, he says he's the last of the Echidnas. Well, then how the hell was he born? Where the hell did his parents go?
Yeah, that's true.
It's
I never do explain. Well, we do find out later, and unfortunately a bad game, that there were more Echidnas.
That was Dark Brotherhood or Chronicles or whatever.
Sonic Chronicles.
Yeah, but I think the story works in different ways. I like Adventure 1's story for the fact that you get several different perspectives on the world around you.
I did think that was tight.
Yeah, like you've got Sonic who's looking at the bigger picture. You've got Amy who's kind of focusing on an individual aspect of saving the world. You know, trying to find the birds home and whatnot.
I like Tails' version of Sonic's story because it was like confidence building and stuff.
And the fact that Tails mans the fuck up, which is great. But Adventure 2, I liked it better because A, the stakes were higher.
Yeah.
B, we saw characters out of their element. C, things got a hell of a lot more serious, which I didn't mind.
Yeah, I think SA2 did a good job at taking itself seriously without taking it too seriously. Because my problem with Shadow the Hedgehog story was actually like they were trying to make it a little too serious.
Yeah, it seemed like they were trying to appease the crowd of Sonic Adventure 2 lovers who just wanted the serious game market. But the problem is they went way too overboard.
Yeah.
So
that's why I like SA2. It was serious without being too serious.
Yeah, they made like Shadow way too broody, you know, and
that's another thing. I think there was a little bit more. I think there was some better character development in some aspects in SA2, mainly with Shadow.
There were actual character arcs that even carry over from Adventure 1.
Yeah.
You know, like Amy Rose has a really good character arc from how she started in CD going to Adventure 2. And
I actually did like that flashback she did where they cut back the Sonic CD and it's just Metal Sonic chasing Sonic. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, but the stories work in different ways. I think Adventure 2 was a better overall story. It had drama. It had a very nice story arc from lightheartedness to going up to the intense drama of, you know, the asteroid hitting, the space colony hitting the Earth. And I think it was pulled off very well, and Sega has yet to repeat that.
Yeah, I do think like the individual stories, they just connect better into the grand story. Like for example, in SA2, they I don't think they did a good job with that because one, like they never explain why Exactly, because remember, Knuckles gets the Master Emerald back together.
Mm-hmm.
But they never explain why it's still sunk.
What? Why what's still sunk?
The Angel Island.
Oh, you mean at the end of Adventure 1?
Yeah, I'm talking about Adventure 1.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. That was...
I think Sonic and Tails, the story, they did a good job with, but Amy, like everyone...
I will say Amy's complemented the other character's story very well in Adventure 1.
You think so?
Yeah, I think her story was absolutely fine.
Actually,
it's because the thing about it is the character works in the story that they've set. She's focusing on... She's kind of like the character who's very naive, very young. You know, she doesn't really understand the plight that she's really dealing with. All she knows is this bird needs help. Whereas Sonic is like, yo, I'm trying to save the world and shit. She's more focused on one aspect in particular, which works to her character's advantage, because that's who she is as a character. So her story works for her.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I think probably my favorite story would have to be Gamma's, just because one, you get to play as Eggman's robots, and two, I find it interesting how he gets this epiphany just from looking at the birds.
Dude, Gamma's story was sad.
I know, and then he blows up at the end. I was like, wait a minute.
That's the one thing.
Oh, that's it? He just died?
I'll give that for Sonic Adventure one thing. It's kind of like, have you ever seen WALL-E?
Yeah.
You feel all this emotion for a character that cannot show emotion. You know, when he sees Beta being taken apart and put back together.
Yeah.
You know, at the end, when the bird flies out and he explodes, that was very powerful, and yet no words were spoken.
Yeah, I do.
The scenes were very well done.
I think there were some points that they were still trying to be too cinematic, especially since the animation wasn't very good at the time. I especially noticed this in the one of the flashbacks with Dekal.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they're all the echidnas are just bum rushing the altar.
Yeah.
It just kind of looks. It just looks more silly than serious.
Well, you kind of gotta take
that mostly has to do with just
the overall graphics and engine and whatnot.
Yeah.
But see, you gotta I don't look at it as such. I look at it as the overall mood of the story, and
I get you.
That sucked. You know, that was harsh what happened in that scene, and you know, it was also very powerful. But you know, as I still say, Sonic Adventure 2 had the better storyline. More was at stake. You had a very nice build-up. You had villains acting like villains.
No, I agree. Sonic Adventure 2 did have a better story.
You had villains acting like villains, but you also had villains, you know, acting natural, acting normal. You know, Eggman having dialogue with Shadow and Rouge, and it's not...
It had way better dialogue than Adventure 1, I will say that.
Yeah, and it wasn't forced. It didn't...
Yeah, I was about to say, because Adventure 1 is especially Tails, it is like the guy was reading straight off the script.
Yeah.
Hey, Knuckles, what's up? I still crack up to that.
Even Knuckles kind of had it a little bit bad. I'm not gonna lie.
You're right. I think I do like Knuckles. I think Knuckles was still my favorite voice actor from Adventure 1.
Oh yeah.
Despite some little quirks here and there.
Don't mess with me now. Give me those emeralds now.
Yes, that was just that with that animation. I thought that was hilarious.
Calm down, Knuckles. But yeah, I think we're in agreement here. I was surprised.
It's like I said, it's I like both games, but there's just some things that I feel that were did better in one game than the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in terms of Sonic Adventure 1, I think it had better gameplay. In terms with Sonic Adventure 2, I do think it had a better story. I especially like what my biggest thing with Adventure 2 is I really do like what they did with Shadow. It's he wasn't too angsty and he wasn't too emo. Battle the Hedgehog, they just made him way too emo.
Yeah, and he wasn't even that bad. And the fact that he had that very touching epiphany at the end of Adventure 2 that helped him decide to go save the world. Then when Heroes came along, they forgot all about that shit.
Well,
to me, what
it did bother me in Heroes because I found it interesting that one thing I did find interesting in Heroes is that where we see the whole like room full of Shadow clones. Like Shadow, he lost amnesia when he like fell down to Earth. I did find that interesting.
Yeah, but the thing about it is they forgot everything of who he was. They forgot his character, and they've never fixed it.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually another thing interesting. How come no one ever tells him about his past?
Yeah.
Rouge is right. I can understand Rouge because she's just using Shadow to get the Eggman's treasure or whatever. But why not Sonic? Why not Knuckles? They were there.
How come Sonic and them didn't talk it out saying, hey...
all he says is, look who's full of surprises.
That was so dumb.
I was so like, wait a minute.
Here's the thing. You know what I would have written if I was the writing team? I would have been like, holy shit, Shadow, you're alive?
I know they did. I know. I like Knuckles and Tails' reactions were appropriate, but Sonic was just like, he didn't give it. He didn't give a shit.
It's like, what the fuck do you mean you don't give a shit? He's been dead.
I know. It's like he went because at the end of SA2, it's like he went from, feeling sorry for Shadow to just like not giving 2 cents about it.
Stubborn and full of surprises.
That was like the dumbest thing ever.
I hate that Sonic. I hate that version of Sonic Heroes and on. It's just like he doesn't care about anything. Like, I've never seen him show a moment of just not acting like he's arrogant and in control. That's made Adventure 1 and Adventure 2 work so well with story-wise. The fact that Sonic feels weakness, the fact that he gets wounded, he gets injured. Take Adventure 1, for example. He gets gassed. He fucks up a bit. He fights Knuckles, and it turns out he's been played. This happens. He gets beat at times. Maybe not huge losses, but he does get beat. In Adventure 2, he gets beat. He gets arrested, I
don't know. That tripped me out when I first played Sonic 2. Like, wait, he got arrested?
Yeah, it's like
a Mario Sunshine? Sonic Adventure did it first. Oh, wow.
It's like he got arrested. Eggman has tricked him on more than one occasion. He almost died. It's like...
Yeah.
Moments that have happened in Sonic history that they just do not remember.
Yeah, I know Sonic teams up with Eggman. That's never gonna happen again.
No, and it to me it's just like it just shows that Sonic is just the ultimate Mary Sue character right now, and they're never gonna do him properly. They're not gonna do him properly anymore because now Sonic is such a Mary Sue that he doesn't even need sidekicks anymore.
Yeah.
Like if you played Sonic Colors, great gameplay, but Tails has no purpose there.
You get the Tails power-up, aka Hover Wisp. That's about it.
Yeah, and Tails like, I created the machine to help you translate Wisp. By that time
he does.
Yeah, but by the time he did that, Sonic already destroyed 2 generators.
I know. I found that as like, Tails, you're still useless.
Yeah, Knuckles has no purpose, and, unless the Master Emerald's involved, which they totally forgot about.
Yeah.
But... we're rambling. Let's wrap this up, and we're going to come back with music.
Yeah, music.
Did we go over time?
No, we didn't.
All right.
Yeah, SA2 story was better.
Yeah. But, as far as music goes...
I'm coolest.
I'm the coolest.
I'm sorry, I say that.
Love that line. It's so hilariously out of place.
I know, I think that's my only... But here, actually, there were, before we end, there were some little plot things that I didn't get. There's one, the whole thing with Gerald Robotnik, and how he, like, was able to, program the Ark to crash land. Like, when did he do that? Was it before or after Maria died? They never explained that.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a plot point, because I'm pretty sure he probably did it after Maria died, and there was...
And there was also a thing, because we're almost out of time, is, why was there a U.S. rocket ship in Eggman's secret base?
Because Eggman is evil.
Why is there a generic rocket?
He's evil and he steals things. That's Eggman.
Generic rocket?
But as far as Gerald Robotnik's concerned, they did say there was a grip of time between Maria's death and what happened afterwards, so I think he was able to do that.